Peter Smith here at Warrnambool, and fast time. That's a good effort.
I was really happy. I got my new motor in tonight and we're just really looking good. I was really happy the way that went. Just went round like a clock.
This is a good track for you?
I've had my moments here. I guess everybody has, but we're hoping to make it a good night tonight.
Trevor Green here at Warrnambool Speedway, and you had a real nasty dump just 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure if I should be here or not, but we the boys worked all night from 9 o'clock yesterday morning till 3:30 this morning. If they can put that sort of effort in, I've got police come here and give it a try tonight and see how we go.
You spent a lot of time in the hands of the ambulance crew, and I believe went to hospital after the meeting. A lot of people very concerned about you.
Oh yeah, I sort of, when I sort of come to in the car, I had a real bad burning in my neck and in my back, and I had a bit of a tingle in my fingers, and I felt really beat up. I haven't really felt like that in a sprint car flip before. I felt a little bit like that in a midget flip before, but I didn't think that was possible on such a slow little bull ring like that, so it was quite a shock to my system, and I'd like to thank the people of Nora Racetrack for looking after me really good.
Well, I'm looking forward to this for 2 reasons mainly. Firstly, we're at Warrnambool Speedway in Victoria, and that means we're going fast. Second reason, one of the most gifted former sprint car drivers in the game from America is Brad Doty, now these days a motorsports announcer. He joins me in commentary now. Look out, we've got Race Cam on board with Robbie Farr. Brad Doty, welcome to Warrnambool.
Glad to be here, boy. This is some exciting stuff right here.
Good camera angle.
Oh.
I tell you what, there's not a lot of room. Ooh, right up against the wall. And that's Brooke Tatnell making his way through. Kevin McCallum and the Excite Batteries, number 60. Danny Smith from Danville in Indiana. Brad Doty, he's been coming here for something like 17 years now in succession.
He probably knows this place about as well as any American racetrack, and this reminds me of Eldora Speedway. Danny Smith trying to put the Eldora slide job, as they say right there. Going to make it work.
Well, this is like Eldora condensed. It's a little bit smaller. Well, actually, it's a lot smaller, but it's high banked and it's plenty fast. Robbie Farr working over the Excite, number 60 of McCallum. Danny Smith getting away to a lead. Brooke Tatnell, this race cam shot illustrating how the cars transfer their weight to the right rear. Brooke Tatnell's car appears tight to me. Would you say that?
Yep, you're absolutely right. It does look tight. He looked, if you look at the racetrack, it's a little bit drier on the bottom, and it comes up to a nice heavy cushion right in the middle there. It looks like he might be a little loose, and then when he hits that cushion, he's too tight, and it's laying on the right rear.
Here comes Robbie Farr going forward, but he's got to be careful. Tatnell's right back there. Look at the brilliant sunshine here. Tatnell's car working hard. Farr needs to get past McCallum. Here comes Brooke. Gives us a look at the Shell Helix, number 8. Back into turn, and look how sideways they get. All Farr's up very high here. Brooke trying to come back. There's no room at the moment. Oh, look at that. Straight through on the inside. He made the move. The Hall brothers, number 60. Tatnell was quick to jump in there too.
Yeah, the 60 car took a push there. The front end got out away from him a little bit, and Tatnell took advantage of it.
Gee, they run right up high, don't they? Back onto the main straight, into that brilliant sunshine. Pretty little venue, this Warrnambool Speedway, the deep south of Victoria. And Danny Smith on a mission. 1 lap to go. This guy's got some talent.
Well, this is early in the night too. The daylight hours are still out. The racetrack's probably going to dry off a little bit and move up as the night goes on.
Well, Danny Smith smokes the locals at Warrnambool. Mind you, he's got a couple of Grand Annual Classic wins under his belt. He knows his way around this circuit. Smith takes the win from Robbie Farr and Brooke Tatnell. Well, the track is starting to get faster and faster as the night wears on. You're at Warrnambool Speedway in Victoria. Phil March down very low, the South Aussie in car number 3. Your leader at the moment is Ray Scott in car number 55 from Phil Johnson, the likeable larrikin of Victorian sprint car racing. Mike Van Bremen, one of the youngsters, riding up high. Scotty Milling, the West Aussie in the Austrac, number 25. Look how picturesque this track is, Brad Doty. When you look out the back of turn number 3, all you can see is open fields.
Boy, it is a beautiful place. What catches me is my eye is all the people. I mean, a heck of a crowd here.
Well, there's sprint car people down in Warrnambool. Don't you bet on that. They come out of turn number 4. Scott is your leader. Johnson still in the 2nd spot. This is good racing with the World Series format, the quicker the time trial. Further down the back you go. That was a good move by Milling.
Yeah, Johnson hit that rut going into 1 there a little bit and took a bobble and got past.
Well, Milling, who has virtually very little experience at this particular circuit. Oh, reds are on. Trouble in turn number 3. Oh, look at this. Van Bremen and Johnson.
In America, we call them stacking them up when they do that.
Hey, it's like a double-decker deal right there. Look at that. Van Bremen, one of the youngsters, and Johnson, considered in many respects a veteran, although a sporadic racer. And there is a Speedway fiberglass sponsorship on the wing, so I get the feeling they could be calling for the sponsor soon. There's Van Bremen getting out of the car, being assisted out. Nice young fella. taking a bit of time to collecting himself. It can really knock the wind out of you when you take a ride like that.
Oh, it does. You know, the seat belts, you have the harness over your shoulders and around your lap and everything, and just the jolt that your body takes. Sometimes your intestines and things get jarred around pretty good, and it takes you a few days to recuperate.
Oh, look at that. Twisted metal everywhere. It's awful when they got to try and prise two cars apart like that. There is Phil Johnson off to the right with the red and white race suit, the World Series crew, including John Hughes himself, in there working on that.
You can see both cars, the wings, took the... They're the drivers.
That's
shaking
good,
hands.
shaking hands there.
Yep, just a racing deal. Just a racing accident. Sometimes it just happens.
It's good to keep that in mind, but I bet sometimes it's a struggle. Ray Scott is your leader in the Scott's Refrigerated Transport, number 55. Back in the second spot, I think that's Chaz Calandro coming forward, the South Aussie, the 33 car. Well, you can see Chaz running an all-silver wing. There's usually Castrol sponsorship on the side. I think he's been upside down.
There he goes. Boy, he got a good restart. Went from third right into second. Now he's got the lead.
And look at him driving away. That's really got to be frustrating when you're out in front, Brad, like Ray Scott was doing. He's thinking, I'm doing a good job here, and someone goes past like they're tied to a tree.
And to put what, 8 or 10 car lengths with this in the lap.
That's heartbreaking,
It is. It's very frustrating.
David Anderson to the far right, whipping around the outside, right up on the wall. He's got a lot of experience at this track too. Here's the South Aussie, Chaz Calandro, in the 33 Castrol car. I noticed the main wing set well forward.
Boy, and his car, you're right, Wade, and his car's running nice and straight. Not a lot of bobbing, not bouncing up and down like you see some of these cars. He has the right torsion bars and the right shocks for the way the racetrack is right now.
Looking back in the field, let's have a look. There is Skip Jackson to the far right of our screen. The Skilled Engineering Pennzoil, number 7. And Calandro is spanking this field. Scotty Milling is back in the second spot. You've got a South Australian leading a West Aussie in Warrnambool, Victoria. Well, wonders never cease. Calandro has a lot of experience here. 1 lap to go, and Chaz is going to bag this heat and drive away. That's a solid run. Keeps it down nice and low to the turn. Good drive. Calandro will get the win. Long way back to second. Good drive to Scotty Milling. It's a long way back to
they just
third.
drove away, didn't they?
Woo. You just ran away and hit. There was Ray Scott. He got third. Well, that was good. Back to Shirley. Back then to Peter Smith and Skip Jackson. So the South Aussie Calandro victorious in heat number 2. Still, one of the most awesome sights in any field of motorsport is a 4-wide salute. When you do it here at Warrnambool, it's always got that little bit of extra significance. Garry Brazier's up there in the 21. Phil March riding right up on the wall. Randy Hannagan is there, so is Brooke Tatnell. Nothing compares to that sight, Brad Doty. Doesn't matter which part of the world you're in.
And it doesn't matter how often you see it, too. It's just such a neat thing. And, you know, sometimes that's not an easy thing to do as a driver without rubbing wheels when you get 4 wide on some of these smaller racetracks.
That's a good excuse, at least, to psych out the opposition. Brazier running up the front. There is the Fraser Shores, number 32, of Nathan McDonald. Hannagan, there is Peter Smith down low on the number 8 Highway In car. Randy Hannagan out in front, the Californian. Brazier's in the second spot. Geez, it's frantic in the early going here. Everybody hugging it down low. Danny Smith has used the top part of the track earlier in the night to success. Hannagan has the main wing set very far forward on the car and quite a bit of down angle. What's he looking for?
Well, that means that his race car's hooked up. That means that he doesn't have a lot of wheel spin, so he's keeping the wing forward, keeping the front wheels on the ground. Now, as the racetrack dries out and the race goes on and gets fuel out of it, he'll start moving that wing back to transfer more weight to the rear tires.
Okay, so just at the moment, he's got the plum set up because you can see he's driving away from Garry Brazier. Doing that at Warrnambool is no mean feat. The pint-sized Californian out of San Jose in California, the king of California these days.
Yes, he is. Boy, he's having a tremendous run over here. This racetrack is just perfect right now. I mean, it's a good bite all the way around the racetrack.
The Austrac Hydraulics team, in fact, right here, Scotty Milling, the West Aussie, about to go a lap down. It's his teammate Randy Hannagan coming up on him now.
What Randy has to do is kind of watch now. He'll try to go around him on the outside. Boy, that's tight. I've said it before. The sprint car, the drivers can't see the front tires. It's all just a feel. And right there, you can see him struggle a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Scotty Milling doesn't want to do anything wrong at this moment. There's been many a team that have disbanded as a result of contact. That's Max Dumsney up ahead. Max Dumsney in the Australia 1 Valvoline car, himself born in this particular area. This is regarded as his home track. Could go a lap down here. That's remarkable.
That just shows how fast Randy Hannagan is. Going to put not only his own teammate, but possibly Max Dumsney down a lap here shortly.
Well, gee, I tell you what, he can't afford to mess around, Brad Doty, because at the moment it's costing him every lap he doesn't get by. He is getting further and further in stride.
There he goes. No rear view mirrors on these cars either, so when you're struggling with a lap car like that, you don't know where second place is at. You make one wrong mistake and get pinched in traffic, and they can go by you so fast that you might not get it back.
Just sort of wisp of blue smoke come off the side of Dumsney's car then. Certainly not Max's night. You can see they run through the rut into turn number 1. Cars get a little unsettled. Hannagan already, he's got to be thinking Brazier's back there somewhere. The Titan car is the next one in line. The problem you get with traffic sometimes, Brad, is like guys like Max, he doesn't want to go a lap down, and he's thinking about trying to get the car in front.
Yeah, you absolutely don't want to go a lap down because, you know, the sprint car race is too short. There's no pit stops, no way to get that back, so you're done. Max's car, I don't know if he has a bent shock or a bad shock, but the way that car is bouncing around, he definitely has a problem.
Robbie Farr in trouble, Brad. Look out, carrying race cam, and all of a sudden we get a close-up look at the Warrnambool track surface. And that's the reason why the O'Brien Aluminium number 4 Avenger clouts the wall. Seemed to me like something might have broken in Farr's car because it straightened up. We saw the coverage. The car just moved up track unexpectedly. There's the lineup. Hannagan and Brazier are the top duo. The lap car goes back into position at World Series competition. We go back into turn number 3 and 4 at Warrnambool. There's high speed, very fast, very hooky little circuit. Hannagan clears away again. His teammate is sitting back in the second spot in lap terms. Brazier is the next one through. And Brooke Tatnell now starting to make a run. Gee, Hannigan's got to be wondering where everyone else is.
Yeah, he's just feeling that race car out right now. And again, he doesn't know where they're at. You just, in a sprint car, you run as hard as you can go. And what he's going to have to concentrate on is what his race car feels like. And is he gaining speed, or is he getting slower as the track dries out? So he might have to move his line around a little bit. He's got a car stopped here.
Yeah, that's Phil Gressman out of Ohio. You'd know a fair bit about him. Runs for the Junior Holbrook team back in the States. In the 360s mainly. Hasn't got an open ride, but he's loaded with ability, and that car has the best of everything. Tom Sanders working with it, the Gambler back outfit. Hannagan getting away again. Randy has only had one look at this circuit previously, and that was last year, and he tore up big time on the main straight, so this is a victory in itself for Hannagan.
Yeah, anytime you can come back and possibly pull off a win somewhere, it's just, yeah, mentally it's a big plus.
Gee, the field seems so evenly matched here. I noticed that Brazier has not been able to get past the lap car of Scotty Milling, and Hannagan, meanwhile, is blowing away. If he did have mirrors, he'd have a big smile on his face.
Yeah, he sure would. Well, again, that just shows how competitive sprint car racing is when the lap car, the car that's in second place on your screen, is actually a lap down and nobody can pass him.
I noticed that Hannagan running pretty well the bottom of the track where most of the guys are. They're using a fair bit of the main straight, but tucking right down low in the turns. And Warrnambool is a speedway where you can run the top if you need to, but it seems like Hannagan is just getting every bit of bite he needs in that Austrac number 7, and he is absolutely howling around here. THR painted on the side of the car is an interesting story in itself. His brother Terry, who was critically wounded in a bank robbery, and as a result, now in retirement, really, in terms of a work sense, he helps fund his brother's racing.
Now let's make it clear, Terry wasn't robbing the bank when this happened.
No, most definitely. He was an innocent victim, and he loves his brother's racing.
I've actually heard people that heard the story and they wondered, because we mentioned that at home back in America sometimes too. Yeah, innocent bystander, and it's too bad, but he's got to be proud right now.
I tell you what, Randy Hannagan has robbed a few racetracks of some prize money. He's looking like he might rob about $4,000 right here, because he's looking the goods. Comes up behind the number 36 of Drew Cruck, youngster, very talented young man out of Queensland, and running with the Titan Garages team that his dad owns. And Max Dumsney, once again, just up ahead. Looks like that restart last time out was pretty fortuitous for Max.
When another thing unique about this racetrack is this cement apron around the inside of the infield. We have none of those in America. And tease the guys here what compound of left rear tire they have to run down there on that concrete.
We also have grass on the infield, Brad. I haven't seen too much lawn on the infield a lot of racetracks where you live either.
We could sure use some, couldn't we?
Back onto the main straight. Here is Hannagan up behind Max again.
Again, to lap him, that just shows Max Dumsney having severe trouble with that race car.
Hannagan looks very settled, just bouncing through a couple of the ruts are starting to form. I'm surprised we haven't seen Brazier. He's sitting back here in the second spot, but no one's got an answer for this little bloke from California.
That little bit of smoke you see there off of Max Dumsney, I wouldn't think that is his problem. It's a little oil smoke. I wouldn't think that would be causing the car to be slow. It looks like more suspension problem than anything possible.
Well, Van Bremen is just up ahead of Dumsney. That's the young fellow we saw go upside down earlier in the night. No, in fact, it's Trevor Green in the Adrad number 4 car. Trevor Green has had mixed fortunes at this track. He's torn up a few times, but he's also won the Grand Annual Classic, which paid $12,000 to win. And as I recall, it was run in daylight conditions, and it was pretty slick. And Trevor Green, and anytime you can win in daylight, you're doing well.
Yeah, anytime you run in a daylight racetrack, it's complete chassis setup, and driver has to change his whole strategy, and sometimes you have to slow down to go fast, whereas tonight, these guys are putting the pedal down, running as hard as they can run.
Well, Randy Hannagan has certainly done that. He's got the claw to the floor, and he's about to pick up some pay dirt. Randy Hannagan, the King of California, is tonight the King of Warrnambool. He takes out round 9 of the $500,000 World Series Sprint Cars. Garry Brazier, well, he shattered him in places, but Hannagan, nobody had an answer for the little guy from California tonight.
Randy Hannagan, you've put together yet another win, your 5th win for this year's series, and you've got to be close to leading the championship.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, that'd be great. You know, I let them points work themselves out at the end. You know, I mean, I really want to win some races, and, you know, that's where the money's at. And I'm sure the point deal at the end is great, but, you know, I just want to win some races and get some credibility here and, you know, maybe pick ourselves up a corporate or major sponsor for next year so I can run the series again.
So after round 9, the points look like this. Skip Jackson sitting on top of the Christmas tree with 5.825. Randy Hannagan sits with second with 5.690. Back to Brooke Tatnell, 46.85. Garry Brazier, 4,010. And Trevor Green with 3,335.